everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Fiorella, and yes, this is my first video. Today we're gonna be talking about how to live a happy, fulfilled life and say goodbye to anxiety. Now, I know this is a big topic and there's a lot of things that go into it. There's a lot of generic factors, there's a lot of external factors, a lot of internal factors, but these 7 steps that we're going to be talking about can absolutely help anybody, regardless of where we are in our journey. It would help absolutely everyone to have a better day and have a fulfilling life. So, and why am I doing this video? I'm doing this video because, well, it's not a secret. We live in a world where things are getting a little difficult, politically speaking, violence, different things. And unfortunately, we are having a lot of people dealing with depression and anxiety, and that is something that resonates with me, and I know it resonates with a lot of people. I was a child who was bullied growing up. I dealt with overweight a huge part of my life. At some point I got married and I got divorced. At some point I had to deal with situations where I could not work legally in this country, which thank God the situation already resolved. But you know, there was a lot of external factors that at some point hit on me, right? And it was really hard. But at the same time, during this journey of my 37 years of life, I have learned a few things and a few practices that have made a tremendous difference in the way that I live and not just survive, but actually thrive and be happy every day. So without further ado, we're gonna talk about those 7 steps that are gonna help you and continue to help me and continue to help everyone live a happy, fulfilled life, regardless of whatever is going on outside. And I apologize if you see me looking down. I actually have some notes. I did not want to forget, any of the important steps. So anyhow, my first step is to start the day right. And what does that mean? Starting the day right means waking up and opening your eyes and take a nice deep breath. Now, I know a lot of people are gonna say, well, Fio, I have to get up really early in the morning to go to school, to go to work, drop off the kids. I get it, but these things that I'm gonna talk about, they're simple steps and they don't take more than 5 minutes to implement each of them. And if you take the time to do it, like I said, it's gonna be very, very simple and it's gonna make a whole big of difference. So like I said, first step, start the day right. Take a nice deep breath. As soon as you wake up, and I'm not talking, just normal breathing. I'm talking about fill those lungs with air, like really. Now, this is not a video about meditation or anything like that. I'm not a yogi. I'm not a meditation wizard. I am not a psychologist or anything like that. I'm just telling you, filling up those lungs with air. Do it a few times, 3 to 4 times when you wake up. Second thing I do, pray, meditate, whatever works for you. Set an intention for this day. Today, I'm gonna have an amazing day. Wonderful intention. Second thing, the next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna say thank you. Thank you for this day. And we're gonna think of 3 things that we're grateful for. I'm sure there's a lot of things that we can be grateful for, but we're gonna stick to 3. If you wanna do more, you can do more. I'm so grateful for my life. I'm so grateful that I have a job to get up to and be able to bring money into my home. I'm grateful for my health. I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for for the place I live. I mean, we all have more than millions of things to be grateful for, and it's just a matter, it's a good practice to start the day right. Taking a nice deep breath, being aware that we're here now, being grateful for what we have, setting the right intention, meditating if that's what you like to do, praying if that's what you like to do, talking to the Lord, whatever it is that you like to do. Very, very important to take a few moments in the morning to do that. Second thing, what did I write? Take care of yourself. When I say take care of yourself, we're going to take care of our body, our mind, and our soul. Taking care of our body, what does that mean? We're going to eat healthy. And we're not just talking in terms of losing weight and being fit, those are great goals, but that's not what we're talking about right now. We're talking about feeding our body the right things, the vegetables, the fruits, the water, the things the nourishment that our bodies need to function. Because guess what? If we don't feed our body the right things, that's gonna affect the way we feel. Okay, so that's very important. Feeding our body the right things, getting rest, getting anywhere between 7 to 8 hours of sleep every day. Now, I know, we all know that may be difficult to do, especially, if you have a family, you have kids, whatever the case may be. If you work 12-hour shifts like I do, sometimes a challenge, right? But that's what we're aiming for. And if for the most part of the week we try to achieve 7 to 8 hours of rest, it's gonna do wonders in our body, because we're gonna be more energetic. That's gonna help us stay focused, to be on task, and therefore we're gonna be more productive and more successful in everything we do. That's taking care of our body. Taking care of our mind. What's taking care of our mind? Well, nowadays with social media, with so much that is going on TV, we have to be very picky on the things that we allow our mind. If we allow negative comments, negative information to enter our mind, guess what that's gonna happen? What is that gonna do? What is that gonna do? So if negative information comes in, negative information is gonna come out. So very, very important that we become picky about the stuff that we're gonna let into our minds. So that means being picky about what we're reading, what we're watching on TV, being picky about what we're allowing into our social media world. Who are we following? Are we following people that are constantly putting comments that are negative? I mean, those are things that we need to be mindful. And sometimes we go on Instagram, we go on Facebook, and we scroll down through the different pages, and we don't even realize, or we're not even paying that much attention to the different comments. But even just the fact that we are reading them sometimes, even though you're not focusing on them, it's going into our subconscious, and it's affecting us, even when we don't realize it. So that's a huge thing. Allowing that everything that goes into our, just as much as we take care of what goes on into our bodies, making sure that we eat right, we have to make sure we feed our mind the right things. Feed our mind things that are positive, things that are going to be nourishing to our mind, things that are going to help us grow, things that help us learn, and make sure that we relate to people who are actually are at a level that we want to achieve. People who we admire, people who are uplifting. Okay, taking care of our soul. That goes back to meditation and praying, and taking care of our soul is very, very important, because if we don't take care of our what goes on in our heart, it's gonna be really difficult to deal with what goes on externally. So regardless of what everyone's beliefs are, taking time to recognize that we're vulnerable, and to recognize and just nourish that love that we have for ourselves, and that love for the creative, or that love that we can have for the people around us. That's huge. Nourish that and work on that, because if we take care of ourselves, if we take care of the internal us, then everything else, whatever goes on around us, it's not gonna affect us, right? So getting this inner being strong, super important. Okay, remember, if this heart is full, if your heart's full, is full with love for yourself, for the people around us, for God, there's nothing in the exterior that could come in to bother you. Why? Because your heart's full. Okay, so that's that. Take care of yourself. Okay, peaceful environment. We kind of touched on that already, but making sure that you have a peaceful environment. What does that mean? Your room. When you walk into your room, is it a restful place? Or is there a lot of clutter? Is it clean? This is important. Having a clean space, free of clutter, it's important. It helps you want your room or your space, your home. You want it to be a space where you can come back from work or from school and just relax. So make sure that your home is decluttered, is clean. It's a place, it's your sanctuary where you actually can come home and just relax. So that's important. The fourth step, choose your tribe. Choose your tribe very wisely. And what do we mean by choosing our tribe? Choosing our tribe means, who are we hanging out with, right? So I think we all have heard that the influence of the people around us, the influence that they can cause on us, is huge. And I know sometimes we love people who are not necessarily very positive, or perhaps we may be family to people who are not very positive. What do? So I'm not telling you to completely detach yourself from friends or even family who are negative, perhaps, because nobody's here is perfect. We all being negative at some point. We're all walking the journey at a different stage, and we all are dealing with different problems at a different stage. We're all trying to kind of learn how to do this. So what I'm trying to say is, make sure that our group, the immediate group around us, are mostly composed of people that are positive, people who are uplifting, people who are at the place where you want to be. This is extremely important. If you have a dream to be, I don't know, you want to be an entrepreneur, or you want to be whatever you want to be. I don't know what your dream may be. If you gotta find a person that already made it to that level, okay? And sometimes that may not come really easy, because whatever, it's not always easy to surround ourselves with the people that we want to, that are exactly at the level where we want to be. But at the same time, social media has empowered us a lot, and has given us exposure to people who are very successful. And so this is something that we can use to our advantage, and we can start following people who we can see have already achieved what we want, right? So very important. Choose your tribe. Make sure that the most part of the people around you, the most part of the people that you're hanging out with, are people who are uplifting, people who are positive, people who are speaking love to you, people who believe in you, people who already got where you want to be, right? And also people who you can help. That's also important. People that perhaps are struggling in some area that perhaps you master already for different circumstances that you've gone through, you want to make sure that you are there to help that person and help, we all have talents, gifts, different things that we can teach the people around us. We all do. We all do. It's just a matter of kind of stop and think what is going on internally. But every single person, I don't care who you are, we all have something to share with the world. We all have something to teach. We all have something to share. Okay? So choose your tribe. Very, very important. The other thing, this is huge. Being decisive, and do not overthink. This is a huge thing that it took me a long time to understand. Sometimes when it comes to making a decision, I would be one of those people who would start thinking about, okay, would this work, would this work? And I would get stuck in there and not make a decision for a long time. And I would be overthinking. And guess what that does? That just creates anxiety. It does nothing else but creating anxiety, and it helps us. It doesn't help you a lot. So one thing I have learned over the years is, if I have to make a decision for school, for whatever it is, what really helps me is sit down in a beautiful place like this. I'm at a park right now. You can just go and sit down, get a little journal like the ones I have, like pink, right? You can get and then write down what your goal is. That's the first step. And then you're gonna think, okay, what are your choices to get to that goal? And then you're gonna start thinking about what are the pros and the cons of each of your choices. Okay? And then after that, based on that information, and most importantly, of what you feel in your heart, that's really important. Feeling your intuition. This is why it's really important to write it down, because when we write it down, something happens. We're able to visualize it better, right? So we're able to write down our goal. We write down the choices that we have to get to that goal. We write the pros and the cons, and then we listen to our intuition. Okay? That's not very easily to do. That takes some practice, but we got to start somewhere, right? So follow your intuition. The more you practice intuition, the easier it's gonna get over time. So follow your heart. Whatever feels in your heart is the right decision. Whatever brings you peace, go for it. Make the decision and stick to it. After you have made the decision, do not overthink it. Do not go back to it and try to look at the other options again. You basically are just gonna say, okay, I made my decision. Now I'm just gonna trust the process. Let it flow. Now, if things don't work out, you gotta trust the process, right? And I know this goes into, maybe I should make another video about this, because there's a lot more about intuition and making decisions. But basically, it comes down to evaluating your choices, trusting your inner gut, being decisive, sticking to it, and letting things go. Letting it go and just trust the process. Okay? What happens if we don't do that? If we start overthinking, if we start going back to, after we have made the decision, we start going back and looking at the other choices, and we start overthinking and thinking of what if, That's just gonna make you insane. That's what it's gonna do. I know it's made me insane. So when you next time you're making a decision and you have made a decision and you start overthinking, stop it. Okay? Tell yourself, stop it. Please do that to yourself. And finally, oh wait, I have 2 more steps. That was step number 5. Step number 6, develop a passion and pursue it. When we have a passion and we pursue it, it fulfills our heart. And we all have a passion. We all were born with a purpose in this life. So it is your job and my job to discover what that is and develop that, explore that, and do something with it. Okay? So if your passion is to help people, there's a lot of ways to help people. You want to go into the health field, you want to go into coaching, you want to go into psychology. My goodness, the options are endless. Please go ahead and do it. So follow your passion. And lastly, the 7th step. Just like the same way you've started the day right, you're gonna finish the day right. And the way this looks for me is 1 hour before I go to bed, I turn off all electronics. I do not look at social media. And I just take time for myself. Take time to maybe be with my family, or maybe be in my room and just enjoying my own company and kind of having a cup of tea, reading a book that I enjoy. And right before I go to sleep, just like in the morning, I started the day being showing gratitude for 3 things. I end up my day thinking of 3 things that I'm grateful for, or that I did very well, or both. So I'm sure this happens to everybody. We all can think of things that went wrong, things that we could have done better. But it is very, very important that we take time to be grateful for the things that they did go right, and the things that perhaps didn't go so well, but that they taught us a lesson, you know. And that's very important, because we have to remember, the world doesn't happen to us, it happens for us. So whatever it is that it's going on in your life, just remember, it's not happening to you, it's happening for you. There might be a lesson in that situation that you don't like. There might be some sort of tool in that situation that is going to help you in later years. So we got to be grateful. We got to be grateful, because life happens for us, not to us. And everything works together for the good of everybody. Okay? And so that's it. Those are my 7 steps. I'm gonna just spell them out really quickly in case we forgot. First step, start the day right. Step 2, take care of yourself, body, mind, and soul. Step 3, create a peaceful environment. Step 4, choose your tribe. Step 5, be decisive and do not overthink. Step 6, have a passion and develop it. And 7, finish your night the right way, with love, gratitude, and peace. That's it, guys. Thank you for your time. This video ended up being a lot longer than I thought it would be. I apologize for that, but here it is. Leave me in your comments what you thought. Feel free to share any experiences, what you thought of the content of this video, and I don't know, just say hello. See, I'm curious to see who is watching this video. See if it was helpful or not. And I would really love if you click the like button and subscribe to my channel, and we'll keep in touch. sharing love and positivity in this beautiful world that you and I are creating. Okay? Bye.